Hi, Jim Callan again. You may have seen in the news recently that 8,000 people in Clinton County got up in the morning and went to work for a Canadian company. That's really interesting. When you think about a county of about 80,000 people, that's a tremendous number. We have benefited from our relationship with Montreal, with Quebec, and really with all of Canada for years and years, right down to our celebrations. One of our best draws at the Battle of Plattsburgh is the band from Cobourg, Ontario, to our business community. Bombardier, Nova, Prevost are all parts of Canadian companies. To our government, we've signed agreements with Longueuil, Quebec about education, about sharing resources in education, about our shared business cluster and transportation issues, and really starting to learn from what goes on there. We are a part of an economic region that encompasses one of the world-class cities on this continent, Montreal. And we are, as Gary Douglas has drilled into our brains for years, Montreal's U.S. suburb. And our economy is absolutely tied to that. And that really presents a different model for us in terms of how we look at some of the discussions at the national level about border protection and those kinds of things, because frankly, we want traffic come across the border as if it wasn't there. Certainly, not unfettered, but our friends, our businesses, the employees that need to go back and forth really need to be able to go back and forth comfortably. We want to see the border be an inconvenience, not a barrier. And we're afraid that some of the conversations that are really not aimed with our biggest trading partner, which is Canada, can affect our economy here. So we really want the national government to really think seriously about what an important relationship we have, both as a country, certainly as a state, as well as right here in Plattsburgh. Really important. By the same token, that means that we reach out. I was invited last year to go to Quebec City to join a Francophone and Francophile network, a group of places with French heritage and French language. In fact, I got to speak before the conference about Plattsburgh and about the kinds of things that are happening here. I also have been asked to be part of their organization for the northeastern part of the United States. And if the election cycle allows, I will be attending the next function of that network in Lafayette, Louisiana. It may not be possible because it's just a couple of weeks before the election, but it's an important connection. We really need to celebrate our French heritage, our French language connections, as well as all the rest of our connections. And in fact, that's one of the things that I've talked to Sandra Geddes about, is really starting to look at who lives here now, who's lived here in the past, and how do we celebrate those things? How do we look at, what our relationship is? If you just look in my neighborhood, count off the streets, Montcalm, Lafayette, Champlain, all the French Quarter, and we have a significant history there, and we need to stay connected to those people. So it's about Plattsburgh, although we are a small city, really being part of a much larger and in fact a global network. That's why this region got the accolades that it's gotten over the last couple of years about being a great place to do business and a great place for millennials to live and a great place for every kind of activity you can. We think that it can be even greater, and that's what my reelection campaign's about taking us to the next step. I am so excited about where we've been and where we're going over the next 4 years, and I ask your support.